Chapter 16. The plans of the heart belong to man, but the answer of the tongue is from Jehovah. All the ways of a man are clean in his own eyes, but Jehovah weigheth the spirits. Commit thy works unto Jehovah, and thy purposes shall be established. Jehovah hath made everything for its own end, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. Every one that is proud in heart is an abomination to Jehovah. Though hand join in hand, he shall not be unpunished. By mercy and truth iniquity is atoned for, and by the fear of Jehovah men depart from evil. When a man's ways please Jehovah, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. Better is a little with righteousness than great revenues with injustice. A man's heart deviseth his way, but Jehovah directeth his steps. A divine sentence is in the lips of the king, his mouth shall not transgress in judgment. A just balance and scales are Jehovah's. All the weights of the bag are his work. It is an abomination to kings to commit wickedness, for the throne is established by righteousness. Righteous lips are the delight of kings, and they love him that speaketh right. The wrath of a king is as messengers of death, but a wise man will pacify it. And the light of the king's countenance is life, and his favor is as a cloud of the latter rain. How much better is it to get wisdom than gold? Yea, to get understanding is rather to be chosen than silver. The highway of the upright is to depart from evil. He that keepeth his way preserveth his soul. Pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. Better it is to be of a lowly spirit with the poor, than to divide the spoil with the proud. He that giveth heed unto the word shall find good, and whoso trusteth in Jehovah, happy is he. The wise in heart shall be called prudent, and the sweetness of the lips increaseth learning. Understanding is a wellspring of life unto him that hath it, but the correction of fools is their folly. The heart of the wise instructeth his mouth, and addeth learning to his lips. Pleasant words are as a honeycomb, sweet to the soul, and health to the bones. There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death. The appetite of the laboring man laboureth for him, for his mouth urgeth him thereto. A worthless man deviseth mischief, and in his lips there is as a scorching fire. A perverse man scattereth abroad strife, and a whisperer separateth chief friends. A man of violence enticeth his neighbor, and leadeth him in a way that is not good. He that shutteth his eyes, it is to devise perverse things. He that compresseth his lips bringeth evil to pass. The hoary head is a crown of glory. It shall be found in the way of righteousness. He that is slow to anger is better than the mighty, and he that ruleth his spirit than he that taketh a city. The lot is cast into the lap, but the whole disposing thereof is of Jehovah. End of chapter 16. Chapter 17. Better is a dry morsel and quietness therewith, than a house full of feasting with strife. A servant that dealeth wisely shall have rule over a son that causeth shame, and shall have part in the inheritance among the brethren. The refining pot is for silver, and the furnace for gold, but Jehovah trieth the hearts. An evildoer giveth heed to wicked lips, and a liar giveth ear to a mischievous tongue. Whoso mocketh the poor reproacheth his Maker, and he that is glad at calamity shall not be unpunished. Children's children are the crown of old men, and the glory of children are their fathers. Excellent speech becometh not a fool, much less do lying lips a prince. A bribe is as a precious stone in the eyes of him that hath it. Whithersoever it turneth, it prospereth. He that covereth a transgression seeketh love, but he that harpeth on a matter separateth chief friends. A rebuke entereth deeper into one that hath understanding, than 100 stripes into a fool. An evil man seeketh only rebellion, therefore a cruel messenger shall be sent against him. Let a bear robbed of her whelps meet a man, rather than a fool in his folly. Whoso rewardeth evil for good, evil shall not depart from his house. The beginning of strife is as when one letteth out water. Therefore leave off contention before there is quarreling. He that justifieth the wicked and he that condemneth the righteous, both of them alike are an abomination to Jehovah. Wherefore is there a price in the hand of a fool to buy wisdom, seeing he hath no understanding? A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. A man void of understanding striketh hands, and becometh surety in the presence of his neighbor. He loveth transgression that loveth strife. He that raiseth high his gate seeketh destruction. He that hath a wayward heart findeth no good. And he that hath a perverse tongue falleth into mischief. He that begetteth a fool doeth it to his sorrow, and the father of a fool hath no joy. A cheerful heart is a good medicine, but a broken spirit drieth up the bones. A wicked man receiveth a bribe out of the bosom, to pervert the ways of justice. Wisdom is before the face of him that hath understanding, but the eyes of a fool are in the ends of the earth. A foolish son is a grief to his father, and bitterness to her that bare him. Also to punish the righteous is not good, nor to smite the noble for their uprightness. He that spareth his words hath knowledge, and he that is of a cool spirit is a man of understanding. Even a fool, when he holdeth his peace, is counted wise. When he shutteth his lips, he is esteemed as prudent. End of chapter 17. Chapter 18. He that separateth himself seeketh his own desire, and rageth against all sound wisdom. A fool hath no delight in understanding, but only that his heart may reveal itself. When the wicked cometh, there cometh also contempt, and with ignominy cometh reproach. The words of a man's mouth are as deep waters. The wellspring of wisdom is as a flowing brook. To respect the person of the wicked is not good, nor to turn aside the righteous in judgment. A fool's lips enter into contention, and his mouth calleth for stripes. A fool's mouth is his destruction, and his lips are the snare of his soul. The words of a whisperer are as dainty morsels, and they go down into the innermost parts. He also that is slack in his work is brother to him that is a destroyer. The name of Jehovah is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it, and is safe. The rich man's wealth is his strong city, and as a high wall in his own imagination. Before destruction the heart of man is haughty, and before honor goeth humility. He that giveth answer before he heareth, it is folly and shame unto him. The spirit of a man will sustain his infirmity, but a broken spirit who can bear? The heart of the prudent getteth knowledge, and the ear of the wise seeketh knowledge. A man's gift maketh room for him, and bringeth him before great men. He that pleadeth his cause first seemeth just, but his neighbor cometh and searcheth him out. The lot causeth contentions to cease, and parteth between the mighty. A brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city, and such contentions are like the bars of a castle. A man's belly shall be filled with the fruit of his mouth, with the increase of his lips shall he be satisfied. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof. Whoso findeth a wife findeth a good thing, and obtaineth favor of Jehovah. The poor useth entreaties, but the rich answereth roughly. He that maketh many friends doeth it to his own destruction, but there is a friend that sticketh closer than a brother. End of chapter 18. Chapter 19. Better is the poor that walketh in his integrity, than he that is perverse in his lips and is a fool. Also that the soul be without knowledge is not good, and he that hasteth with his feet sinneth. The foolishness of man subverteth his way, and his heart fretteth against Jehovah. Wealth addeth many friends, but the poor is separated from his friend. A false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that uttereth lies shall not escape. Many will entreat the favor of the liberal man, and every man is a friend to him that giveth gifts. All the brethren of the poor do hate him. How much more do his friends go far from him? He pursueth them with words, but they are gone. He that getteth wisdom loveth his own soul. He that keepeth understanding shall find good. A false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that uttereth lies shall perish. Delicate living is not seemly for a fool, much less for a servant to have rule over princes. The discretion of a man maketh him slow to anger, and it is his glory to pass over a transgression. The king's wrath is as the roaring of a lion, but his favor is as dew upon the grass. A foolish son is the calamity of his father, and the contentions of a wife are a continual dropping. House and riches are an inheritance from fathers, but a prudent wife is from Jehovah. Slothfulness casteth into a deep sleep, and the idle soul shall suffer hunger. He that keepeth the commandment keepeth his soul, but he that is careless of his ways shall die. He that hath pity upon the poor lendeth unto Jehovah, and his good deed will he pay him again. Chasten thy son, seeing there is hope, and set not thy heart on his destruction. A man of great wrath shall bear the penalty, for if thou deliver him, thou must do it yet again. Hear counsel and receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in thy latter end. There are many devices in a man's heart, but the counsel of Jehovah, that shall stand. That which maketh a man to be desired is his kindness, and a poor man is better than a liar. The fear of Jehovah tendeth to life, and he that hath it shall abide satisfied. He shall not be visited with evil. The sluggard burieth his hand in the dish, and will not so much as bring it to his mouth again. Smite a scoffer, and the simple will learn prudence, and reprove one that hath understanding, and he will understand knowledge. He that doeth violence to his father, and chaseth away his mother, is a son that causeth shame and bringeth reproach. Cease, my son, to hear instruction, only to err from the words of knowledge. A worthless witness mocketh at justice, and the mouth of the wicked swalloweth iniquity. Judgments are prepared for scoffers, and stripes for the back of fools. End of chapter 19. Chapter 20. Wine is a mocker, strong drink a brawler, and whosoever erreth thereby is not wise. The terror of a king is as the roaring of a lion. He that provoketh him to anger sinneth against his own life. It is an honor for a man to keep aloof from strife, but every fool will be quarreling. The sluggard will not plow by reason of the winter, therefore he shall beg in harvest and have nothing. Counsel in the heart of man is like deep water, but a man of understanding will draw it out. Most men will proclaim every one his own kindness, but a faithful man who can find? A righteous man that walketh in his integrity, blessed are his children after him. A king that sitteth on the throne of judgment scattereth away all evil with his eyes. Who can say, I have made my heart clean, I am pure from my sin? Diverse weights and diverse measures, both of them alike are an abomination to Jehovah. Even a child maketh himself known by his doings, whether his work be pure and whether it be right. The hearing ear and the seeing eye, Jehovah hath made even both of them. Love not sleep, lest thou come to poverty. Open thine eyes, and thou shalt be satisfied with bread. It is bad, saith the buyer, but when he is gone his way, then he boasteth. There is gold in abundance of rubies, but the lips of knowledge are a precious jewel. Take his garment, that is surety for a stranger, and hold him in pledge, that is surety for foreigners. Bread of falsehood is sweet to a man, but afterwards his mouth shall be filled with gravel. Every purpose is established by counsel, and by wise guidance make thou war. He that goeth about as a talebearer revealeth secrets. Therefore company not with him that openeth wide his lips. Whoso curseth his father or his mother, his lamp shall be put out in blackness of darkness. An inheritance may be gotten hastily at the beginning, but the end thereof shall not be blessed. Say not thou, I will recompense evil. Wait for Jehovah, and he will save thee. Diverse weights are an abomination to Jehovah, and a false balance is not good. A man's goings are of Jehovah. How then can man understand his way? It is a snare to a man rashly to say, It is holy, and after vows to make inquiry. A wise king winnoweth the wicked, and bringeth the threshing wheel over them. The spirit of man is the lamp of Jehovah, searching all his innermost parts. Kindness and truth preserve the king, and his throne is upholden by kindness. The glory of young men is their strength, and the beauty of old men is the hoary head. Stripes that wound cleanse away evil, and strokes reach the innermost parts. End of chapter 20. Chapter 21. The king's heart is in the hand of Jehovah, as the watercourses. He turneth it whithersoever he will. Every way of a man is right in his own eyes, but Jehovah weigheth the hearts. To do righteousness and justice is more acceptable to Jehovah than sacrifice. A high look and a proud heart, even the lamp of the wicked, is sin. The thoughts of the diligent tend only to plenteousness, but every one that is hasty hasteth only to want. The getting of treasures by a lying tongue is a vapor driven to and fro by them that seek death. The violence of the wicked shall sweep them away, because they refuse to do justice. The way of him that is laden with guilt is exceeding crooked, but as for the pure, his work is right. It is better to dwell in the corner of the housetop than with a contentious woman in a wide house. The soul of the wicked desireth evil. His neighbor findeth no favor in his eyes. When the scoffer is punished, the simple is made wise, and when the wise is instructed, he receiveth knowledge. The righteous man considereth the house of the wicked, how the wicked are overthrown to their ruin. Whoso stoppeth his ears at the cry of the poor, he also shall cry, but shall not be heard. A gift in secret pacifieth anger, and a present in the bosom strong wrath. It is joy to the righteous to do justice, but it is a destruction to the workers of iniquity. The man that wandereth out of the way of understanding shall rest in the assembly of the dead. He that loveth pleasure shall be a poor man. He that loveth wine and oil shall not be rich. The wicked is a ransom for the righteous, and the treacherous cometh in the stead of the upright. It is better to dwell in a desert land than with a contentious and fretful woman. There is precious treasure and oil in the dwelling of the wise, but a foolish man swalloweth it up. He that followeth after righteousness and kindness findeth life, righteousness, and honor. A wise man scaleth the city of the mighty, and bringeth down the strength of the confidence thereof. Whoso keepeth his mouth and his tongue keepeth his soul from troubles. The proud and haughty man, scoffer is his name. He worketh in the arrogance of pride. The desire of the sluggard killeth him, for his hands refuse to labor. There is that coveteth greedily all the day long, but the righteous giveth and withholdeth not. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination. How much more when he bringeth it with a wicked mind? A false witness shall perish, but the man that heareth shall speak so as to endure. A wicked man hardeneth his face, but as for the upright, he establisheth his ways. There is no wisdom nor understanding nor counsel against Jehovah. The horse is prepared against the day of battle, but victory is of Jehovah. End of chapter 21.